In the previous video, I did a bit of an overview of some of the things that are possible by making use of your unlocked Echo, things like sideloading your own applications, and even setting up and installing a brand new operating system. If you haven't yet checked that video out, be sure to go and check it out because it will give you a bit of an idea of some of the approaches and some of the things that are possible, and it will just help you decide which method's best for you. In that video, I also gave you two different options. There was the red pill or the blue pill, and you guys opted for the blue pill, which is a full setup and walkthrough of installing the Lineage operating system. Lineage. However you want to say it, it's a full setup and walkthrough of installing that operating system, and that's exactly what we're doing today. The exploit that we're going to be looking at and using today is specifically for the first generation Echo Show 5, so it won't work on any newer Echo Show 5s or any other Echo for that matter. But, and it is a very big but,
I like big butts.
At the time of filming this video, Roger Ortiz, the guy that's actually created the exploit, has literally just now this second released a brand new exploit for the Echo Show 8. So using an Echo Show 8 first generation, you'll be able to perform a very similar exploit, and you'll be able to make use of everything that we're going to be doing today. So if you want to see that in a future video, you want to see the full walkthrough for an Echo Show 8, let me know in the comments below. Before we do get started, it's also probably worth mentioning that Amazon can and probably will at some point in the future just block this exploit, so if you do want to get rid of the FireOS for good, now's definitely the best time to do so. It's also worth pointing out that you are following along with these instructions at your own risk, because following along with the exploit can potentially just brick your device, making it a total paperweight, so follow along at your own risk. As always, this video will be chaptered, so if there's a particular part you want to check out, be sure to make use of those chapters linked below. And I think that's probably enough yabbering. Let's get started with the install. To get started then, you're of course going to need an Echo Show 5 first generation. You're also going to need a micro USB cable and a Windows PC. It is possible to follow along using Linux, but some of the commands are going to be a bit different. So check out the forums, or if enough people are interested in a Linux version, then maybe I'll create one of those. With your Echo Show, you're going to need to make sure it's running at least version 6.5.7.0 or 6.5.7.1, which at the time of recording this video is the latest operating system available for the Echo Show 5. If, like me, you just picked up one of these from eBay, then you will need to run through that whole Amazon process in order to get into the settings and then make sure the device is up to date. Once you've run through the settings, you can just click the device, update it, and then we're going to be good to go. It is probably possible to check the firmware version without actually running through that Amazon install, but it does literally just take a couple of minutes, so that's the way that I did it. Now that our Echo's up to date, there's going to be a few bits of software that we need to install, and I'll just point these out as we get to them. And as I mentioned, they are all linked in the description, so just grab them as we get to them. The first one that we're going to download then is the FireADB driver, and this is going to be what allows us to communicate with the Echo over USB. So just head over to the Amazon developer site and then select the Kindle Fire USB driver and then just save that to your desktop. On your desktop then, or wherever you've downloaded the file to, just simply right click on the file and choose Extract. You can then open up that file and run the installer, and this will install the ADB driver. Next, we're going to need to install ADB, or the Android Debug Bridge, and what this one's going to allow us to do is to communicate with our Android device. So in our case, it's going to allow us to use the computer to communicate with our Echo Show, and we'll be able to run commands and change properties on the device. There's a few different ways that you can go about installing ADB. The method that I'm going to be using today is just a quick portable method, mainly because it's really easy from a tutorial perspective, because you haven't got to set up any environment variables, and it's just a very quick one-click thing. So head over to the Android developer site, and from here you'll need to just scroll down and you should see this link for the SDK platform tools for Windows, and if you just select that, it's going to give you this little agreement. Scroll to the bottom of that agreement and then just press download and save this to your desktop. On your desktop you'll then have that zipped folder that you just downloaded. Just simply right click it and choose extract, and you should then see these two folders. If we open up that extracted folder, we'll then see another folder called platform tools. And what I like to do here is just rename this folder to be ADB because it keeps things nice and simple and just easy to reference. With that folder renamed to ADB, you can just drag it onto your desktop and then you can remove those two other folders. So we'll end up with just the ADB folder containing the ADB executable and all of the necessary files. Now that we've got our drivers and we've got ADB, the next tool that we're going to need is a tool that does the actual exploit, and we're going to be doing this with Roger's Amonet tool. So once again, go and download that and save it to your desktop. With that now on the desktop, just like we did before, we're going to right click the folder and click extract. We can then just safely remove the zip folder as we've now got the fully extracted version, and if we open up that extracted folder, we'll find yet another folder called Amonet, and inside of this Amonet folder are all the scripts and tools that we'll need. As we're on Windows, the file that we care about is this fastbrick.bat, and if you double click that, you'll see this security warning asking if we're sure we want to run the file. We're going to go ahead and click run, and we'll see the Amonet tool. Now that we've got the Amonet tool running, we'll need to make our echo discoverable so that the tool can work its magic, and to do this we'll need to put the echo into its FastBoot mode. First, make sure you've got your echo fully unplugged. What I then like to do is plug the USB cable into the back of the echo and then into the PC. To actually get the device into its FastBoot mode, you'll now need to press and hold all 3 buttons on the top of the echo while simultaneously plugging in the power. Keep a hold of all 3 of these buttons until you see the FastBoot logo appear in the bottom left corner. Once you then see that logo, it's safe for you to let go of all 3 buttons, and also if you look at the terminal now, you should see that Amonet's discovered your device. With that all done, we're now ready to run the tool, but before you do that, you want to make sure that the device has no interruptions, so make sure it can't get knocked or accidentally unplugged, because any kind of interruption at this point could brick the device. So once you're ready, we're going to type yes on the Amonet tool and press enter. You won't see any kind of output on Amonet, but if you take a look at the device's screen, you will see that it's doing things, and you'll just need to let this do its thing and wait for it to finish. Once it does finish, it will automatically reboot itself. This process now, where the tool's going to work its magic, is going to take a few minutes to actually complete. So while we're waiting for that, this is the perfect opportunity to talk about today's video sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop for CNC, 3D printing, PCB design and assembly, and much more. You can make use of their on-demand services such as 3D printing or PCB design and have your products professionally manufactured and assembled. Some of the cool projects that I've used PCBWay for on the channel are the manufacture of these custom PCBs that fit directly inside of your Google Nest Minis, which allow you to have full local control. What's nice about PCBWay is that when you place an order, you get a full insight into your product's current state and the process that it's currently in, and then it gets delivered straight to your door. So if you've got a cool project or idea that you want to see brought to life, check out PCBWay today. Once the install completes, the Echo will automatically reboot and it will boot back up into TWRP, which is the Team Win recovery project, which is just an open source recovery image for Android devices. By making use of TWRP, we'll be able to install our new OS, but before we do that, we'll actually need to download the OS, so let's do that now. Using the links in the description, head over to the Lineage Git repo and download the latest build. With this one, we're going to need to save the file directly inside of our ADB folder, and although it's a zip, with this one we don't need to extract it. With that now downloaded and placed inside of our ADB folder, we're now ready to finally remove the FireOS. On the desktop, if you open up the ADB folder and right click inside of it, you should see an option to open in terminal. Select this and it will then open up a terminal directly with that file path. If you now type adb.exe, you should see a bunch of helper text appear, and if you see this, it will let you know that ADB is working correctly and you're good to carry on. You can then type the command adb devices and we should see our device appear and it should show that it's in recovery mode. If we come back to the Echo then, your device's screen might have gone off, but don't worry, if you just press the mute button at the top of the device, the screen will turn back on and all you'll need to do is just swipe to unlock the controls. In the top right corner of the options, you should see an option for wipe. If we tap that and then choose advanced options. From here, we're then going to need to select data, system and cache, so if you've got sausage fingers, I'd take this part extra slow because these buttons are quite tiny. Once you've then got all of those selected, we can press the swipe to wipe and then just simply swipe it and the device will wipe.
Good one.
The device wiping process should only take a couple of seconds, and once done, just press back and then home. On the main screen then, in the bottom left, you should see the option for advanced. Select this and then inside of here, select ADB sideload. From here, we're then just going to swipe to start the sideload in, and this is going to change the device's mode from recovery to sideload in. If we switch back to our terminal then, we can now type ADB sideload, and if you start typing Lineage and then hit tab, it will auto-complete the rest of the file name for you. You can then just hit enter. The OS installation process is going to take a couple of minutes. In the terminal, you'll be able to see a little loading bar, and also on the Echo screen, you'll be able to see a loading bar for that too. And once these complete, you'll see a little message telling you that it's completed, and you'll have the option to reboot system. Just simply select reboot system, and then do the swipe to reboot. Your Echo will then reboot itself and you'll see the familiar Amazon splash screen, followed by the Lineage loading image, and you'll then be greeted by the Lineage setup wizard. This first part of the wizard loads a little bit funky because it doesn't quite fit on the screen, but if you simply just swipe up, you'll then be able to access the buttons and you'll be able to run through the rest of the setup wizard, which is just the normal Android-y activation type things, like setting your time zone, setting your Wi-Fi, and then setting some device preferences. And just like that, you're now fully FireOS free, and you're free to start doing all of your open source Android-y things. I've personally been using this device specifically for Home Assistant, so if you stick around for another minute or so, I'll quickly just walk through the process of actually adding your own applications and some of the settings that I've changed. The first thing to note is that the mute button on the top of the Echo now acts as the device power button and also the lock and unlock button, so whenever you press this, the screen will turn off and lock, and press it again and it will come back on. As a default, the lock screen is set to swipe, so one of the first things that I've changed is just changing this to be off. So now when I turn the device on, the screen's automatically ready to go and there's no need to perform any kind of unlock action. In order to start adding apps, we'll first need to put the device into its developer mode. From the device's home screen, just simply swipe up to reveal the app tray, then select settings and scroll all the way to the bottom until you see about tablet. Just select this and then again scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see build number. Just tap on build number 7 times and you'll see a message telling you that the device's developer mode has been activated. We can then just press the back button and then head into system, then select advanced, and from here if you once again just scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the option for developer options. Select this and then inside of the developer options, we're going to scroll down a bit more and you'll see an option for enable USB debugging. Turn this on and you can optionally also turn on the routed debugging. If we now come back to our terminal running ADB, we can type ADB devices and we should see our device listed as just a device. If you can see that, you're now good to start grabbing APKs and we can start installing them on the Echo. For the Home Assistant companion app, we can grab this directly from Git and we can actually download the latest version. Select download and then optionally name it if you want. I called it HA just for ease, and when we save it, make sure you save it in your ADB folder. With that now downloaded and saved in our ADB folder, we can head back into the terminal and we can type the command ADB Install HA.APK, and what this is going to do is it's going to perform a streamed install. This install is only going to take a couple of seconds, and once it completes, you'll see the Home Assistant app appear in your Echo's app tray. This app is the full Home Assistant companion app, so you're going to have access to all of the device's sensors. You'll be able to do things like receive notifications, make use of the microphone for voice commands, turn off the ring light.
Turned off the light.
I'd also recommend a couple of other things like enabling the full screen mode for the app and also enabling the automatic hiding of the sidebar. You'll be able to use the same install process that we've just used for installing Home Assistant with pretty much any APK, but do bear in mind that this version of the Lineage build is classified as experimental, so potentially there could be some compatibility issues or just problems with it. But there we go guys, that's been a bit of an in-depth look into how to set up and install the Lineage OS on your Echo Show 5, and also how to add a couple of applications. If you've got any cool apps or any cool ideas that you're going to do with this project, then let me know what they are in the comments below. And if you have stuck around and you are enjoying this video, then be sure to drop the video a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. In a future video, I do plan on doing a bit more of a deep dive into this project and showing you some of the setups and some of the things that I'm doing with the device, especially focused around Home Assistant. I'm also planning on converting that Echo Show 8 that I've got upstairs into this same kind of device, so if you are interested in that, then drop me a comment and let me know that you're also interested in the Echo Show 8. A massive thank you to Roger Ortiz and all of the people that have worked on this project, but an even bigger thank you to these awesome dudes. These awesome dudes are my Patreons and also my YouTube members, and it's with these people's help and funds that I'm actually able to buy projects and put things like this together. So if you are interested in helping support my channel, which in turn will allow me to create cool things like this, then you'll find links to all the places that you can go to support me, all in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.